What if the reason you're not taking action isn't because you're lazy, but because your mind is built to see a bigger future than most people can handle? Have you ever felt like you were meant for something bigger, like your mind is full of bold ideas, vivid dreams, and a life that could be extraordinary, but somehow nothing really moves forward? It's easy to label this as laziness, but psychology tells a very different story. In fact, people who dream big but struggle to act are often not lacking ambition, they're carrying something deeper, something more complex, and in many ways something powerful. Because dreaming big is not the problem. It's often the sign of a mind that can see beyond limit. So if you've ever felt stuck between vision and action, this might help you understand why. You feel too much about your goals. Psychology shows that procrastination isn't just about poor time management, it's about emotional regulation. PMC. When a goal really matters to you, it doesn't feel neutral. It feels heavy, important, risky. So instead of excitement, you might feel pressure. Instead of motivation, you feel anxiety. Imagine someone who dreams of starting a business. They don't avoid it because they don't care. They avoid it because they care too much. Because if they try and fail, it means something. So the mind does something protective. It delays. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is trying to shield you from emotional discomfort. And here's the reframe. The intensity you feel is not a flaw. It's proof that your dreams are meaningful. You struggle with self-regulation, not vision. Research indicates that procrastination is often a self-regulation issue, difficulty turning intention into action. PMC. In simple terms, you know what you want, you just can't consistently execute. Think about it like this. There are people with small dreams who act fast, and people with big dreams who feel overwhelmed by where to start. The second group isn't less capable. They're just dealing with more complexity, because when your vision is big, the path isn't obvious. So instead of taking imperfect action, you pause, and that pause turns into delay. But here's the truth. Execution is a skill, not a personality trait. And the fact that you can imagine something bigger than your current reality, that's not common. You might be quietly dealing with perfectionism. Research shows a strong link between procrastination and perfectionism. Science Direct. When you dream big, you don't just want success, you want it done right, so you wait. You wait until you feel ready, until the plan is perfect, until the timing is ideal. But that moment rarely comes. So instead of starting imperfectly, you don't start at all. For example, someone wants to create a YouTube channel, but they keep thinking, what if it's not good enough? What if people judge me? So they stay in the dreaming phase, where everything is still perfect in their mind. But here's the reframe. Perfectionism is just fear wearing a smarter disguise. And your high standards? They're not the enemy. They just need to come after action, not before it. You're wired for future thinking, not immediate rewards. Studies suggest that procrastination is linked to choosing short-term comfort over long-term reward. Science Direct. Big dreamers live in the future. They can clearly see who they want to become. They can imagine the life, the success, the identity. But action happens in the present, and the present is uncomfortable. It's boring, slow, uncertain. So your brain makes a trade. Let's enjoy the vision and delay the effort. You scroll, you plan, you think, but you don't move. Not because you lack discipline, but because your brain is prioritizing immediate emotional relief. And here's the reframe. Your ability to see the future vividly is a strength. It just needs to be paired with small, present actions. You hesitate at the starting line. Research shows that procrastination often happens right at the moment action becomes possible, a hesitation to begin. PMC. Not after you start, but before you start. That tiny moment where you think, I'll do it later. That moment is everything. Because once you begin, momentum builds. But starting feels like the hardest step. Think about someone who wants to write a book. They don't struggle to imagine the story. They struggle to write the first sentence. So they delay. Not forever, just for now. But later keeps repeating. And here's the reframe. You're not incapable of action. You're just stuck at the threshold of starting. And thresholds can be crossed one small step at a time. So if you see yourself in this If you're someone who dreams big but feels stuck, there's something you need to hear. You are not lazy, you are not broken, and you are not behind. You are someone with vision, navigating fear, emotion, and complexity at the same time. And that's not weakness, that's potential waiting to be directed. The goal isn't to stop dreaming. The goal is to respect your dreams enough to take imperfect action. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's just the first step. Because the people who build extraordinary lives aren't the ones who never hesitate, they're the ones who act despite it. So start where you are. Start before you feel ready. Start even if it's uncomfortable. Because your dreams don't need perfection. They just need movement. And if this helped you understand yourself a little better, make sure you subscribe for more psychology insights that help you see your mind differently and use it to your advantage.